What's up, guys? Coop here. Before we do our nightly watch list, wanted to do a bit more of an educational video for you guys because I know that I kind of lack when it comes to detailing exactly what I'm doing when it comes to a stock, and that's not your fault, that's more on me. Then again, it's not my job to execute these trades on your behalf, but I'm hoping that this video can shed some light onto kind of what you need to be looking for when you're trading stocks like this. So it just depends if you're wanting to trade more of like a day. I'll show you an example of a day trade and then more of a swing trade type of stock. Both the stocks I traded today, and you could have as well if you knew what to do. And that's what I'll try to do in this video. So just wanted to show a brief example of both how it could potentially be formed as a day trade or a swing trade on this one. It's ticker symbol BE. I just want to point out these pivots. For those of you that don't know what pivots are, so it's when we run up, we kind of reject, and then whenever we can come up and retest, it's kind of a form of a resistance level, or just pivot, where the price pivots from going up to going down, or I guess going down to going up. But yeah, so this is an example of a pivot right here. You can see how price ran up after the open. We sold off after we reached this pivot, and that's what caused it to be a pivot. So for more of a day trade, what we would be looking for is a sustained move above the pivot. So we would like form like a little line here. We'd wait for a couple candlesticks to hold up above. This one broke above, but it closed below, so it's probably not the best example, but I probably would have entered long here on the breakout and retest. You can see that we kind of wicked it, but we didn't quite close below. Um, So yeah, this kind of would be an example of a day trade idea from me. It's a very high quality stock, it moves nice. A lot of these stocks move similar. That's something that you'll learn the more that you trade these. But yeah, I like to see the break and sustained hold above previous pivot. So for this example, we broke above previous pivot for the day trade. We retested it. We broke above, we retested it, and then we went to new highs. So I would have entered longs here if I would have day traded this when I swung it. But if I would have been day trading this, and then I don't know what kind of move that is. Um, I mean, that's a 2% move, and me personally, the way that I do it, if I'm day trading it, I go for like 1.5%, and then I trail it. So I mean, like say you're up 1%, 1.5%, for me, $10,000 worth of shares, you're up 1%, that's $100 on the trade. So just depending on your own, sizing, your own risk management, I always expect that all of you would have your own unique strategies when it comes to these things because my risk tolerance might not be yours and yours might not be mine. We're all unique and that we have our own port sizes and stuff like that. So I mean right here where we would have gotten up 1%, would have moved our stop up here to where we would have entered, right around this like 303 level probably on the 303 break. We would have moved it up and we wouldn't have gotten stopped out. So you can see here we had this small dip. We wouldn't have gotten stopped out because we would have moved it to break even. And then we'd begin to trail it a little closer once we get up like 1.4, 1.5%, and maybe even take a little haircut off of our initial position. And then once you get to 2%, I mean, I would be looking to find an exit opportunity. So I would be moving my stop loss along the 8 EMA here, all the way up to right here. So I mean, even if you just caught that move, that's still, 1%, 1.5%. And then if you cut it at 2%, that's also a good opportunity. 2% on $10,000 is 200 bucks. So I mean, just depends on what you want to get out of it. Yeah, but I mean, if you're trading, $1,000 sizing, you're wanting to keep your risk a little looser, maybe, that'll be 10 bucks. You're going for 5%. You'd be more likely to want to swing these stocks instead of day trade them, unless you're trading like options or something, which I guess you could do. I don't know how liquid these chains are. I don't really look at that. And then also a good example is this one on the swing trade. So I mean, it's kind of similar in that you're looking for an opportunity off of the 5 day or the 5 minute. So more of a swing opportunity. This would have been a kind of a day trade opportunity as well. But you can see that we're setting up for a swing here, just based off of this kind of trend line here. We wicked out of it yesterday, but we're breaking above today. We're seeing some significant volume come into the stock. So I mean, what you would be looking for is you'd want it to open, you'd want it to act naturally, and then once you kind of establish this pivot, it's the exact same thing as up here if you're trading it. You could have entered long on this pivot, or this pivot. These pivots are very crucial. you're not going to want to find a stock that's doing this necessarily. I mean, pivot here, but like you're not going to want to long a stock just off the open because I mean, especially if you're day trading it, like this right here, this is a horrible move. Say you long it at the open, you're down 5%. That's scary for me. I don't really like that. I would have already gotten stopped out in that instance. So like to let the stock open and then kind of see how it's going to trade. If it's in this like consolidation range, that's how you know you're doing something right in picking the ticker that you did. So I mean, we'd like to see some consolidation here, and then once we break above this opening pivot here, the first pivot of the day, you're just going to catch a very nice move. And then honestly, this one you're closing way above that even previous all-time highs. So I mean, this one could be an example of a stock that you swing. Um, for you guys. So that's a good example on BE of how you both enter these swing stocks and how you can also day trade them. If you're trading with $500 to $1,000, that's not much money. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, I would encourage you to, look into maybe different methods of increasing your port size. Because the way that I trade in specific, I size anywhere from $5,000 to $10,000 in a single position. Obviously, I don't risk $5,000 to $10,000. I'll risk $50 to make $100, $200 to make 100, or I'll risk $100 to make $200. That sort of thing. So, I mean, there's other ways that you can trade these. Obviously, like if you swing some of these names, I'm trying to think of an example. Like say you swing trade SNDK off of this pivot here, or this pivot's more of an example. Say, you see you're breaking above previous pivot and you swing it and you trail it right. I mean, you could be up 100%. Obviously, this is more of an exaggerated example, but for those of you that are wanting to, swing trade, there's definitely opportunities. And honestly, you could just like once you start swinging stuff, it gets pretty intuitive. But just let your runners run, man. Like that's a problem that I have sometimes too. I'll see that I'm up 20%, 50%, whatever it is, and I'll be like, that's good enough, but it's not. Like this is a great example of, you could have taken it many opportunities. You have this, then you have this, you have this, and then, now it's kind of starting to fall and you'd probably get stopped out down here. But if you just trail it right, say you enter longs here, just slowly trail it, 10, 20 points below, just trail it, trail it, trail it, trail it, trail it, trail it all the way up. A great example of how you can manage a trade. Um, this one I kind of wanted to show as an example of a trade that's, already played out on the swing side of things, and this could be an example of kind of what BE does. It's a similar setup. You're high, you're tight, you're flagging, and then you go to all highs. So I mean, I just wanted to show this example of as a stock that you could have entered as a swing, very similar to how today closed. Strong, you're closing above, and then you're going to new all-time highs every day. And wouldn't even be surprised if this one kept going. There's no historical resistance above it, so I don't see why not. In AVN, this is one that I missed today, but I wanted to day trade it, and I wanted to show you why. It's a very similar setup to the BE this morning. You see we have we established that opening pivot, and then we just break above. So right here, this I think I alerted it on my own server, but 1815. I said I was looking for longs, and I didn't actually catch it. I was a little busy at the time, but yeah, this was a great example of how a pivot can play out. You break above that pivot, you retest that pivot, and then you just go. I'm sure that's 1% or maybe even more. Yeah, I mean that's 4.5%. So I mean this is an example of a day trade that you wouldn't even really have to trail it too much. I mean obviously you want to trail it, but you wouldn't even risk getting stopped out until you're like here. So I mean, like even if you trail it all the way to there, that's 3%. 3% on $10,000 is $300. That's a pretty good day. That's a good day in the office. STRL, this is one that I traded today. I just kind of wanted to show you guys why I alerted this one in my own. Hold on, give me a second. Let me drag it over. I think you guys can see it. Yes. I just wanted to point this out. STRL, I bought it at 873 in this chop. I mean, I was just kind of looking to swing it. It just looks so excellent. Like, look at this daily time frame. Looks excellent, and whenever you're high and tight for so long, you just want to get an entry wherever you can. So I took an entry, and I actually exited the same day, just because it was such a nice and vigorous move up. But Yeah, I think I cut it at like 888 or something like that. But this is a good example of a stock where you just try to find anywhere you can to slap an entry in. I mean, honestly, hindsight's always 2020, but probably should have held this one as a swing. Very solid stock, very solid fundamentals. 97 relative strength, 94 EPS, it crushes. But yeah, that's a good example of one that, you just try to find an entry anywhere. And then MRVL, this is just another example of, you break above pivot, you retrace, and then you try to find an entry. So I mean, I'm sure there was an opportunity today. Or wait, when did it? Kind of closed weak today. No, not really any opportunities on this one, actually. I lied. So we can take that one off. But I hope this video is a little bit of an insight on what I'm looking for whenever I enter a specific trade. I know a lot of people ask, how do I do this? How do I follow this coop guy? And it's always, I don't know, like I've just been doing this for a long time, but definitely something that you should look into. Um, just study this video, study other people. I'm not the only one that you should be studying either. So, yep, I hope this video helped a little bit. I should be on later with a watch list. Maybe, maybe not. Not sure yet. If there's stuff setting up, there will be a video. So, all right. Peace, boys.